Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Camille over Chai, a show about business, life, and everything else in between, all discussed over a beautiful cup of chai. Today we are going to be kicking off the month of November, and we all know that Thanksgiving takes place in November, and so what better theme for the month of November than gratitude? And so today we are giving gratitude for our goals, and I can't wait to talk about it. All right. Grab your cup of chai, join me back here. Hey guys, welcome back to Camille over Chai. I am your host, Camille Talicia. I am a business and transformation coach, aka a life coach for entrepreneurs. And I am also now, I can officially say, an author. I get to add that to my list of accomplishments. And that's actually what we're going to be talking about today as we kick off the month of November and our gratitude theme. And today's topic is gratitude for your goals, with the subtitle of starting with good enough. And I know that doesn't quite make sense right now, but I'm going to tie it all together. But first, we have to talk about our chai of the day. Today, you'll notice there's not a box here, but instead a bag, because I am drinking a loose leaf Tivana. Excuse me. Tivana blend, and this is the Maharaja Chai Oolong and the Samurai Chai Mate Oolong Tea blend. And I have to be honest with you guys, this is probably the chai that put me on to chai in the first place, because this is the blend that they used to, I don't know if they still do, but for a long time, Tivana had this blend of chai as one of those samplers of the hot tea when you walk by them in the mall. And finally one day, many years ago, I stopped and I tried it, because I've always been a tea drinker. Stopped and tried it, and was obsessed ever since with this and with chai. And this is right now my favorite chai of all time. But that is subject to change as I continue to do this show and I get the opportunity to try new chais. to try new chais. So we are drinking the Tivana Maharaja Chai Oolong and Samurai Chai Mate blend, and I'm drinking it out of my sister's C cup, because we both have C names, and so I borrowed her mug today. There will be some version of this mug available on my kit.com kit, and the link for that will be here and also in the notes for the show or the comments section wherever you are watching this. And if there's a way that I can put the Tivana on there, I will also absolutely add that to my kit as well. But if not, just head over to your local Tivana and ask for their original chai blend, which is the Maharaja and the Samurai. All right, so let me take a sip and we're going to get into this topic. All right, guys, so I'm super excited to tell you guys that I wrote a book. And I know you're probably like, I watched your episode 3 or 2, and you mentioned your book then. So what are you talking about? We already knew. That is true. I had written a book around episode 3, and then I rewrote it. And so I have the 2 copies here. This was the original one. This is how thin it was. And then I got this and I was like, you know what? No, this is not what I want. And so then I did this one and I rewrote it, and this is it, and it's much thicker and it feels more complete. And so the reason why I want to talk about these today, number one, I want to give gratitude for the fact that I accomplished a goal. So it's gratitude for my goals and gratitude for accomplishing a goal, achieving my goal of writing a book. For several years now, I have been saying I wanted to be an author. I remember when I first started doing my life coaching, I was like, oh, I am a speaker, author, and coach. And after a while, I was like, okay, I can't put that because I have not authored a book. And so then speaker, coach I didn't like the flow of that. So I just took all of that off completely and just like, I'm a coach, whatever, for my little header and my logos and stuff like that, which was fine. But I was trying to become an author for several years, and I was trying to speak it into existence, but I wasn't actually doing the work because I had a lot of stuff to work through, which I actually talk about in my book on getting to a point where I could feel confident enough to write a book. And so that is part of the reason why I just want to celebrate doing that, finishing that, accomplishing that, writing the book. And so the information and links for where you can get this book will be available in the notes as well, the links and all that. But it is available on Amazon and like Barnes and Noble and Create Space, because that's who I published it through. And there's probably some other sites that I have not quite figured out yet, because it literally just got approved and finished and published over the weekend that I just passed, which is for me about 2 days ago from the time that I'm recording this. So that is that. Why is the subtitle of this starting with good enough? Now that is where the meat and potatoes of this episode comes from, because we all have goals, and if you are a real dreamer, you have big goals. And sometimes if you are also a high achiever, your goals look a certain way, and you envision them to be of this certain caliber and this certain bar. And so it's like, my goal is not complete. I cannot put anything out. I cannot do anything until I have it looking like this. And I learned a very important lesson with this book, which was that good enough was a great place to start in accomplishing my goals and saying that I achieved my goals. Because the reality was, for me, is that this book, and I'm going to pull up the smaller one, right? It started out as a speech. I gave a talk at an event, and then I typed out the talk, and then I created an ebook from it. Not even an ebook. It was one of those like PDFs that was like 3 pages long, and it was just basically the text of the speech. And I sent it as like a freebie gift to the people who came and listened to my talk, so that they could have notes, instead of having to take copious notes, they could actually be present and engaged in the conversation. So, for October, when I was doing F Your Fears October, I wanted that to be a freebie. And so I had the original ebook PDF, giving that away for free. And then I went back and I was like revising it a little bit, because I was like, I feel like I want this to have a little more flow to it and a little more intention behind it, because it's no longer a speech. This is now something people are reading, and it's a resource. And so as I started tweaking it, I was like, okay, there's enough content here that maybe this could be like a mini little book. And so I was like, well, maybe I'll just make it an ebook and put it on Kindle. And so I did that. I typed it all up, I created the version, I did all this, and I uploaded it to Kindle as a Kindle ebook. And they gave me the option. They said, hey, do you want to make this a paperback? And I said, okay. And so then I did that, because it was a fairly easy process, changed some of the formatting up and made it into a book. And I got the book, and I was excited. I was proud of myself. I was like, oh my God, I am officially an author. Like, you go on Amazon and there it is, author Camille Talicia. She wrote a book and da-da-da-da. And, like I told a few friends about it. I had my hard copy and I was like, oh my God, this is real. I am an author. Oh my God. And then I looked at it again and I said, this is incomplete. And so then that's where the second book came from, the rewrite. The one that's much better, that's more thorough, that has more, I added some journal elements to it so you can actually do the work as you're going through the book. But that's not the important part, because for me, what was important was first actually completing this book. Like, I had to start with a good enough ebook. I had to finally just put it out there, publish it, and it wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong, this is not bad, but the second book is a lot more intentional, but this was good enough. This was good enough that if I stopped here, my goal would have been achieved, and it gave me permission to now go and finish writing the bigger books that I have planned. The one that I started writing 3 years ago. That book, the one that I've been, working on finishing and getting all that content together. It gave me I finally was able to look at myself as an author once this was complete. This was the push that I needed to actually get to the next level and really up level my vision of my goals for myself. And so it's like, for a long time, you know, for a while, I didn't really think it was going to be a reality for me to be an author. I was like, oh, you know, like we'll see, maybe like 5 years from now. But no, I didn't have to wait 5 more years to finish a book, or even another year. I sat down for 2 weeks and I worked on something that I already had. I built up the content that I already had, got more intentional, got more focused, got more deliberate about what I was putting on the paper and the experience that I wanted my readers to have. And I was able to accomplish my goal. But I don't think, for me personally, sorry if I hit the mic. For me personally, I don't think I would have gotten here if I hadn't first gotten here. If I had not first done this and done the good enough and had something in my hands to say, look, you did it, you accomplished something. This could be good enough. I could have walked away with this and been like, okay, great. But being the perfectionist and overachiever, high achiever that I am, I did want to up-level it and make it a little bit better. But I started here first. And so my advice for you, if you have a big goal, find a way to start with good enough. And that doesn't mean that it's going to stay good enough. Like, this is not saying be okay with mediocrity, because that is something I will never preach. If in the book I talk about how I am the child of Jamaican immigrants, and excellence is the expectation. Excellence is basically the minimum. So I am not saying stay with good enough. I'm saying start with good enough and be okay with that starting point, and let that be your jump off point, where you finally can take that next step to really get to your excellent big goal. I have a friend who is working on a movement. It's going to be a movement. When she finally gets it finished, it's going to be a women's empowerment, uplifting, survivor movement. Like, it is going to be beautiful. But right now, it's a little huge. It's an excellent, over excellent goal. And she has allowed her fears, which we talked about last month. She's allowed her fears to kind of stop her in her tracks, because she wants it to be excellent. She sees this excellent vision and she can't find the good enough point so that she can build to excellent. And so I've been talking with her on chunking down her goals, like breaking it down, starting with something smaller, starting with a piece of the puzzle, so that she can get that piece to be good enough, see that it's complete, feel good about completing it, because there's something that is really amazing when you finally accomplish something. Even if it's not exactly what you want it to be, completing something gives you this sense of achievement. It gives you this reinforcement and this encouragement that you can actually do what it is you want to do and what you're setting out to do. So you do the good enough, and then you revise the good enough, and then you build from the good enough to the next thing. And then you go to the next step after that. You do the next step good enough so that it's complete, so you have something to start with. It's like your rough draft version, basically. You make your rough draft so that then you can do your final version, and then you go to the next step and you do the rough draft of that, the good enough version of that, and then you create your final version, and you create your final version, and you create your excellent version of it. And it's just, you just leap, and before you know it, you are at the top of the mountain. You have completed the entire 10,000 piece puzzle. You have an excellent piece of work, an excellent body of work in front of you that you now can proudly lift up. Oop, wrong book. Now you can proudly lift up and say, hey, I wrote a book. I accomplished my goal. I started with my good enough. I started with my rough draft. I started with my first edit. And when I finished that and saw that I had it in me to do it and put it all together, and I could get all my ideas out, I could get them written down, I could get these things put together, then I went and I spit polished it, and I tidied up some things, and I snipped some of the loose strings, and I tightened up this section over here, and I tailored it to what it really needed to be, and I came up with my excellent final product. Hashtag I wrote a friggin' book. If I had a mic, I would drop it, but this one is pinned to me. So if you can't tell, I'm excited about being an author, officially being an author. And no, this was not the book that I envisioned that I would first be putting out as my first body of work as an author. But am I proud of this? Hell yeah. Am I happy that I did it? Hell freaking yeah. Because now I know I can do it. Now it's going to be that much easier for me to go and finish the next book and then finish the next book. And I know that there's two because they're already I've already started writing both of them. So I know that there's at least two more books coming, and I know that I can do them now because I did this one. And it feels amazing. And so I'm grateful for setting the goal for myself, for achieving the goal, and for being okay with starting with a rough draft to see that I could do it. Starting with my good enough. It was good enough. Like, it would have gotten by and it would have been okay. But I'm also grateful for having a standard of excellence that is instilled in me that said, okay, good enough is great. Now you know you can do it. Now go be excellent. So I am encouraging you today, if you found this video and you were not sent here by me as a friend, then there is a good chance that there is a goal you are sitting on, you are BSing right now, you're half-assing your way through it, or you've just totally talked yourself out of it because you're scared, you got overwhelmed by the size of your goal. So I'm here to tell you, quit BSing, stop effing around. I'm really censoring myself today. Do you see that? Stop messing around. Do your rough draft. Do your good enough version. Do the version that's going to get you started so you can see the framework of whatever the bigger picture is, or you can get that first step that's going to get you to that second step that's going to get you to that 15th step of your big ass goal, and just get it done. Do all the steps good enough, and then go clean them up behind you. Then go do the final versions of all the steps, however you need to do it. But I'm telling you, you gotta start, and you gotta start and be okay with good enough. Be okay with starting with your rough draft. Period. Don't focus on what the final picture needs to look like, because all of that will shape as you work the rough draft out. That's all I got for you guys today. I want to know what goals you have that have been a little bit too daunting. Do you need some help chunking them down? Do you need some help figuring out what your good enough point is for your goals so that you can finally accomplish them? And then also, are you even celebrating the fact that you have amazing goals? Do you know there are people right now out there who are really okay with nothing, like with not having dreams? They're okay with just getting by and not really being excellent and not accomplishing anything. So if you even have a goal that is making you uncomfortable and making you stretch and making you feel like, damn, I gotta grow a little bit to make this happen, or I'm really gonna have to make some changes in order for I'm really gonna have to make some changes in order to be able to accomplish this goal. You need to give yourself some damn props for even having goals that big in the first place, and be grateful. Express gratitude for having those goals, because gratitude is the theme of the month. And honestly, gratitude gets you everything, because the more you appreciate the things that you have in your life, the more of them you will see showing up, and the more of them you will continue to have and receive. So that is gratitude for your goals. We have 4 more episodes for November that'll be coming up, and I'm excited because I'm going to try to incorporate a couple interviews, or a guest or two on the show. So if there is a person that you think would be great to talk about gratitude with, please drop a comment below, shoot me an email. I will put it here somewhere. Send me a message on Facebook, because I am definitely looking for guests to come and drink some chai with me and chat with me, because I definitely haven't even gotten into the life stuff. I've been talking a lot of business stuff because I work with entrepreneurs, but life is real, and I can't wait to break down some of that shit. So if you have some topics, or you have some folks you want to chat with about or if you have some folks you think it would be fun for me to chat with over a cup of chai, please leave a comment. Let me know. Let's make this happen. If you have a chai recommendation, let me know, because I'm always looking for some new chais. And of course, I have to promote the brand, the Melanin Goddess apparel brand. This shirt is one of the longer sleeve, it's like a 3/4 sleeve shirt, available on the Spreadshirt shop, or if you just go to melaningoddessapparel.com, you can find this shirt in a few different colors and the other stuff that's on there as well. And one last thing, to catch up on all the episodes of Camille Over Chai, you can just go to my website, CamilleTalicia.com/Camille Over Chai. I believe that's what it is. Just, keep it simple. And you can find the links to all of the episodes that you have missed thus far there, or you can find them on my Facebook business page at Camille Talicia. And there is a playlist of all of the Camille Over Chai videos as well. And again, if you have comments, questions, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave them below. Let me know what kind of life stuff you want to talk about. I got business stuff for days, but let me know what kind of life stuff you guys want to hear and chat about, because life is real, honey, and we can get into it. All right. I will talk to you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your day.